Mike, what do we think about deciding on what rookies to take? I personally think that Najee Harris is probably the number one rookie to have off the board this year, but how do you go about deciding that, and depending on who the quarterback is, really?
Sure, no, I'm with you. I'm all in on Najee Harris. Mike Tomlin has already showed the hand in preseason that Najee Harris is his guy, which shout out to Tomlin for not doing the song and dance of, well, the rookie's got to earn his way up. Maybe he's the starter. Maybe he's the backup. Like, we just got an announcement out of Jacksonville that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the starting quarterback. Yeah. Oh, like come on. Yeah. Come on. Stop wasting everyone's time on that team. Put him in as the starter. We all know it's going to be him. But Najee Harris is in line for a tremendous workload. Just look back to Le'Veon Bell. Look back to James Conner when he had to be the guy when Lev Bell had the year he held out. Najee Harris can be objectively bad at football and still be an incredible fantasy football pick with all the volume that he's going to see. Now, I don't think he's bad. I think Najee Harris is going to be incredible for that team, and in the second round, by the end of the year, to me, he's going to look like a value. The other guys, I already mentioned, like Trey Lance at the end of drafts right now is someone I'm targeting everywhere. Javonte Williams is very interesting, the rookie running back from drafted in the second round by the Denver Broncos. We did a deep study here for fantasy football, and running backs drafted in the second round in the last 10 years, they have a 73% chance, or not chance, I'm sorry, 73% of the time, those rookies have produced higher fantasy numbers by the end of the season than the veteran, than the incumbent over there. So in the sixth round, I'm cool taking Javonte Williams because he's a great player and the history is on his side. You might have to wait a few weeks for that to really become a powerhouse for your team. Like, look back to Miles Sanders when he was drafted in the second round by Philadelphia. The beginning of the year, it was a little bit rocky, and then over the last 60% of the season, you did see him take over and help out teams.
Well, I know our resident Steelers fan, Diggs, COVID Cowboy. Diggs was the fantasy expert here on the show. I guess he has retired. He claims he cannot help everybody. Diggs, what was your question?
Oh, damn it, AJ. Mike, the one question that everyone wants to know, because they know the big names, they know everything like that, is the sleepers. Like, who do you think is going to have a breakout year that we have no idea it's coming right now?
Sure. He's awakening a little bit, and since we were talking about the Patriots, I'll mention Damian Harris is interesting at the running back position. The ceiling is capped because he will be used on first and second down, but Sony Michel was traded away to the Rams. That was probably more of a vote of confidence for rookie Ramondre Stevenson, but Damian Harris is interesting, especially you have to project that Mac Jones will be starting sooner or later. And the biggest knock on Damian Harris was that Cam Newton is incredible at the goal line and vultures those touchdowns. But once Mac is in, those should go to Damian Harris. And then for the wide receiver position, I'll throw out the name Michael Pittman for the Indianapolis Colts. He's a second-year player. He was, remember what happened. All the hype is on those first-round wide receivers from 2020 because they all, except for Jalen Reagor, it was a lot of hits there, especially Justin Jefferson coming in for the Vikings and setting the rookie record. But Pittman was drafted very shortly after Brandon Ayuk, and now Carson Wentz, does he have it left? That remains to be seen. But Michael Pittman looks like he can take over and become the number one for that team. The past 2 years, T.Y. Hilton is only averaging 50 yards a game. He'll still help out the team, but I don't think that he's not the number one anymore. So you have a very ambiguous situation. And Michael Pittman prototypes as an alpha wide receiver with he's a 6'3", 6'4", 220 pounds. He's a big dude. He can get it done, yards after catch. We saw that already last year on a lot of crossing routes. But I think he's a player that can take the jump, and he's going in 10th, the 11th round of fantasy drafts, while all the attention's on the other second-year players. So you can sneak Pittman on your team for a value.